We are finally back for F1 25 Psgl Season 40, and we're here at Cota in Texas. And I've not posted a Psgl highlight video for a while. I've posted Belgium, which I think was round 2, as I missed round 1. And then we skipped Jeddah. Actually, Jeddah was round 2, Spa was round 3. So go check that out. And then I posted Imola as well. But we're back, got another one coming after this. Brazil, the season finale, and potentially another somewhere in between. So I hope you enjoyed this content. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe. And nonetheless, let's head into the video properly then. We're at the end of our banker lap. We set a 1 minute 30.6, which is a pretty decent banker. You can see up in second. We then head onto our second lap. We're slightly up, but we run wide. So invalidate and come straight back into the pit lane. So we've got one more run here, currently in fourth. And you can see maximizing the entry to carry as much speed as possible onto this lap. So let's go for a full lap of the Austin, Texas Circuit of the Americas, to be fair. Heading up in towards turn 1, brake at the black box, and you can see we go very, very deep and we get a horrible exit, and that costs us quite a bit of time. We're a 10th down after only turn 1, so I knew from here on I just need to full send and hope I can improve, because I would have been happy with a 10th of an improvement. You can see we absolutely nailed the first sector. We actually improved. So turn 1 was really, really poor. And through here we nailed the track limits, and we're over a 10th up already. We could have been 2.5 tenths up if we had nailed turn 1. Nonetheless, heading into the hairpin, I'm gonna try and get a really good exit early on throttle, and we get the exit. We're gonna be almost 1.5 tenths up heading towards the end of sector 2. So we've had a really good recovery so far, heading into this very tricky left-hander. Then again we're going a bit deep, just missing the curb and getting a bad exit, losing over half a tenth on our delta. It's a 0.8 split, which is not great, not gonna lie. So pretty messy lap. So I know I have to nail this again, and we get a really clean exit, 1.5 tenth improvement so far, but I know I need to full send it now. Dennis Kamensky with a 0.37, which is okay but not great. But we fully send it through the penultimate corner, nailing that 2 tenths up. And then this last corner, I don't know how we didn't invalidate. Across the line, 2.4 tenth improvement, and we set a 1 minute 30.397, which I think put us P3 in the end. Lucas Beisner ended up getting pole, I think with a 0.2 or maybe a low 3. I think we did 0.1 PB or 0.2 PB. So yeah, that was that. P3 is still pretty good to start from, so let's head into the race. So we've got 5 red lights here at Cota with a long run up to turn 1. We get a decent start. We try and get the McLaren. Gonna have to go to the outside here, and I think I get a bit of a rear lock. He gets hit there, and we're gonna try and go around the outside. He does tire hook a little bit, but I don't want to go side by side and risk it. Dennis is not the cleanest of drivers, so I let him go and live to fight for another day. So P3 off the start. I mean, at least we maintained our positions, not too bad. You can see on lap 3 he makes a bit of a mistake there, which actually forces him to go defensive. So I'll try and set up a switch back here and get underneath him, which we actually do. A bit of traction loss there, and then he goes very deep, but he manages to cover it off for now. But he's already struggling on lap number 3. Lap number 5, you can see, goes defensive again, and we're able to force a defensive move heading into this next corner. Once again, we go for a switchback. We barely get it done. He covers it off this time, but then he goes very defensive and nearly straight lines his TES teammate, and then fully blocks the switchback. So he's struggling so early on. He has absolutely no pace. As we head to the end of lap number 9, he's into the pit lane with Lucas Beisner, and we are into the net race lead, or into the race lead, not the net race lead. 1 lap later, we decide to pull the pin and come into the pit lane ourselves, and the undercut was actually pretty strong. Dennis Longrock also pit, and as you're about to see, once we rejoin, we're actually undercut by 3 or even 4 cars, I think, because the Aston Martin that is leading this train, he pit a lot earlier, so he's got way older tires. I think he pit lap 6 or 7. So you can see we just about rejoin behind Dennis. So we've been undercut by Dennis, Lucas, and Dennis Kamensky. Oh, there's 2 Dennises. So the McLaren and Lucas pit a lap before us have gapped us. Dennis Longrock was behind us and has undercut us. And then the Aston Martin leading the train has much older tyres. So we've got some work to do here. We have the freshest tyres, but nonetheless we've got some work to do. Can't get into DRS just yet, but by the time we head to the next lap, you can see we are within DRS. Lucas has now made the overtake, so he is back into the net race lead. And then Dennis Kamensky, no battery, and as you're about to see, he goes straight entirely on his own, which gives us pretty much a free position. Nice overtake there to let us through. So now we're in net P3. I knew we were going to get the Aston, but basically nothing happened. Lucas was purposely slowing down to leave the Aston in DRS, but then he disconnects, and as you're about to see, the AI of course goes so slow because I think they're set to 80%, to the point where Lucas has a 1.5 second gap. So yeah, that was less than ideal. At least we're up to 3rd now. I thought we were going to get him anyway because there was no chance he was going to make it, but I saw this as my chance to go for a move on Dennis at 22 of 28. Lucas was gone, so there's no way we're going to catch a full second on him. Dennis goes fully defensive, which fair enough. He has a bit of a slide, so we can actually force him to go defensive there and go for a switchback as per usual. Loads of drifting. Did I go up the inside? No, I didn't. We both go a bit wide of the apex, and at this point Lucas is just laughing, looking back and enjoying his free win by the disconnected car, which is really unlucky. Not much we could do there, but that let us start a lovely fight with Dennis. Probably one of the best fights I had this game. Tried turn 1, gonna try here. He goes defensive, I go for the better XA. He has a huge slide, which makes him go defensive again, and he actually covers that off, but then I just about get there, not quite. He then goes very defensive, but I go even wider, so that was not ideal. Maybe I got the exit here. No, but he goes defensive there as well. So yeah, this was a very nice fight. You can see heading into turn 1 now, he's got the 3-second time penalty. So at this point, I knew I can just fight for fun. I'll get the position anyway. Bit of wheel banging there. We had loads of lag this race, as you'll see on the last lap. Just not ideal. And then here, lap 24, he goes a bit deep, makes a mistake, which lets us go right alongside. And then we're going to try and hold it around the outside. At this point, at least I was just clip forming, to be fair. I think he was enjoying it and actually sweating it quite a bit. He turns in a bit early there, so we make a bit of contact. And then he drove off track for no reason. Did that a bunch of times, which is why he'll get 6 seconds at the end of the race. But yeah, we're ahead again. Lucas is well clear. I don't defend the inside, as I'm kind of attack baiting to clip form. Dennis goes up the inside. Bit of wheel banging, but just hard and fair racing. And then through here, he's on the inside. I tried to get a switchback, but I underestimated how slow he would go. So he actually makes a clean overtake there, back up the inside. Then we head on to the penultimate lap. And I could have gone to the inside here, but he keeps his nose in. And a bit of traction loss there, but he actually switches back to the inside. Quite a move on the limit, but nonetheless, clean fight. You see loads of banging, also lag involved there. And then again, he just decides, I leave him space, he just decides to drive off track. I don't know why. I think he got 6 seconds in the next lap. Heading into turn 1, he goes for another move at the inside. Tried to switch back, couldn't quite get it. So again, tire hooking showed you to lag, I hope. So I let him go, and then we try and get him onto this straight. He goes defensive, probably expecting a send. And here I could have stuck my nose in. Instead he went very, very defensive. Tried to swing around the outside. More contact, especially in this corner. We're all just lagging around. Turns in early. And then again he just drives off. Or no, actually here he goes to abuses. And then he hits me on the inside to a point where I nearly spin. You can see loads of screen freezes, which was not ideal. And then here I go absolutely straight. And then he switchbacks me. And then he's already got 6 seconds because he kept driving off track. Tried to remove them, but it's pretty pointless because there was no point driving off track. He got me across the line, but of course with the 6 seconds we inherit P2. And that was my return to Psgl, or a video after a long time. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time from me, it's take care and goodbye. Please subscribe.